Suppose we wanted to print out all the numbers from 1 to 50. We can easily do this by using a while loop. So for example, we can have a variable named I. We're going to set it to 1. We're going to check that in the while loop, I is less than or equal to 50. We're going to go ahead and print out whatever I is. And then we're going to go ahead and increment I so that it becomes the next number. So what we're saying here is that I is 1, I being 1 is less than or equal to 50. So we're going to go ahead and print out the number 1, and then we're going to increment what I is. So now I becomes 2, 2 is less than or equal to 50, print out 2, and then increment again, 3, and so on until we get to 50. 50 is less than or equal to 50. That's a true statement because if it's less than or if it's equal to, then it's true. 50 is equal to 50, so it's good. So we're going to print out 50. We're going to increment I. I is now going to become 51. We're going to jump up, check if 51 is less than or equal to 50. This is going to be false in this case. So then at that point, we'll stop and we won't print out 51 here, and we'll continue with whatever code we have down here. So in this case, we should be printing all the numbers from 1 to 50, and that's what we see, 1 all the way to the number 50. Now, if we wanted to do this backwards, we can start I at 50, and then we can say that I is greater than the number 0, so we're going to do 50 to 1, but we will need to decrement. So in this case, we start at 50. 50 is greater than 0, so we print out 50, and we subtract 1 from I, so now it becomes 49. 49 is greater than 0, print out 49, and so on until we get to 1. 1 is greater than 0, so we'll print out 1, and we'll subtract, so now we're at 0. 0 is not greater than 0, so we will skip this and we won't print out the 0. So I'm going to go ahead and run this so you can see that it'll print out all the numbers from 50 to 1. So now we see 1 all the way at the bottom, but we start at 50. Now, if we wanted to instead print all the numbers from 1 to a number that's supplied by the user, we can use our scanner. Let's go ahead and import that class that we need. And we're going to say, we're going to leave the code that we had previously. So we had I is 1. And we were incrementing and we were saying less than or equal to, but now we're going to need a number that the user supplies instead of that 50 that we had before. So what we could do is make a new scanner. We'll call it scan, and this needs to be new scanner system.in, and we'll say we have a int number equal to scan.next int. So this is going to get the next integer that the user types in. It's going to store it in a variable called number. Then we have our I that's going to keep track of what iteration of the loop we're in. And it's going to be the actual thing that we print. So we have while I is less than or equal to this number that we pass in, we're going to print out I, and we're going to increment I, and we're going to keep printing out I every time we increment I. And we're going to stop incrementing I when the number is not there. So if I is less than or equal to the number, then we'll keep printing it out. But if it's greater than that number, then we'll stop printing it out and we will get out of our loop. So I'm going to go ahead and run this. And I'm going to type in the number 3, and you'll see it'll print 1, 2, 3. So it prints from 1 to that number that we said. If I run it again, I can put whatever number I want. I could put the number 1000, and you'll see it'll print all the numbers from 1 to 1000. Lots of scrolling, but oh, went a little quick. So you can ignore these. These are from previous runs. It just cuts out half of what was there. But this was the last time we ran the code. So we typed in 1000, and it went from 1 all the way to 1000.